Hello, welcome to our daily top 5 gainers and top 5 losers analysis for June 13, 2019, Thursday. My name is JC De Guzman, and this video is in preparation for the next trading day, the last trading day of the week, tomorrow, Friday. And dear listeners, I'd like to set expectations that everything that I'm going to say here is meant for short-term trading purposes. So do not confuse yourself between taking or receiving some long-term advice and short-term advice. Okay, I just want that to be very clear at the onset. Okay, so let's begin the discussion with the first stock in our list. We have CYBR. CYBR did a ceiling play today. Did you catch it? I did not. Okay, that's one confession. I did not catch it. Why? Because I did not catch a convincing buy signal from here on our indicators, particularly on the volume. Okay, so this is not something that we should not fret about whenever we did not catch a ceiling play, because there are still many stocks that we can still trade all throughout the year, and this is not the only trading day that we can have. There are other opportunities out there, so don't fret when you did not catch a ceiling play. Okay, all right, so let me just give you some discussions regarding this stock. So the acting support is at 0.45. Yes, it breached the immediate resistance at 0.45, and that one is now acting as its immediate support, while resistance is pegged at 0.57 followed by 0.68. So I already gave you right here on this video, you're seeing these horizontal lines above 0.45. Just in case CYBR will do another ceiling play tomorrow, then at least you should know where the resistance levels are. Okay? Now, the underlying question here is, I know for sure, is it still logical to enter a new position on CYBR tomorrow? We should not derive our answer from these indicators that you are seeing on our chart right now. We cannot derive it on the MACD, RSI, historical volatility, DMI histogram, average directional index or ADX. We cannot. Why? Because the last line of these price dependent oscillators or indicators will show us, are showing us artificial. No, not artificial, but uh, uh, inorganic, inorganic results. Why? Because a, ce- when a ceiling play happened, expect all of these price-dependent indicators to shoot up. Thereby, it's not, it's not something that it's a natural. It becomes a natural for. Let me just give you an example so you can visualize what I'm trying to say. Better yet. RSI, last Tuesday, it was playing in the neutral level. Because of this erratic fluctuation, or erratic price movement or fluctuation, it dragged its score closer to the classical overbought level. So see that jump? It leapfrogged, no, from the neutral level to the classical overbought level. So we can rely to these indicators. So where should we look at right now? We will be looking at the trade and volume distribution chart. Okay, and that's what I'm showing you right now. So this is where the dominant range is. The dominant range is between 0.5 to 0.53. Where did it close today? 0.5. 0.5? Yes. So that's closer to the intraday high. Therefore, uh, this is clearly in favor of the buyers. Now, here's the thing. If we are to base the decision on whether or not it's logical to enter a new trade on CYBR tomorrow based on that trade and volume distribution, definitely, technically speaking, we will get a yes for an answer. The next question now, to filter those who should only be entering a new position, okay? as far as what I suggest is concerned, we have to answer this question. What's that second question? Where is your risk tolerance? What's your risk tolerance level? What's your level of tolerable risk? Are you a high risk trader? Are you a low risk trader? Because if you are a low risk trader, I don't advise entering a new position on cyber because it doubles the risk. If you will enter a new position on a stock that just went through a ceiling play, it will double your risk. So unless you are a high risk trader, and by the way, how do you develop that high risk level? No, you don't develop that by just simply opening a stockbroker's account. No, it doesn't. You don't develop it that way. You develop it through the years, through experience, and through continuous study. That's how you develop. That's how you upgrade your risk tolerance. Okay? Not because you opened a stockbroker's account, it doesn't mean you can already promote or upgrade your risk level from low to moderate or from moderate to high. No, it doesn't work that way. Okay? So you develop it through experience and continuous study and training and application, of course. You have to be a practitioner. Okay? So you've heard my advice. So if you are a high risk trader, you can go ahead and do a test buy within that dominant range tomorrow. If you are not a high risk trader, okay, number one, don't lie to yourself. Okay? Number two, take a look or monitor other stocks other than cyber. Cyber is not the only fish, so to say. Okay? So there you go. Be honest to yourself. If you're not a high risk trader, then don't force yourself to do a ceiling play. This is not the only stock in the Philippine Stock Exchange. And tomorrow is not the only trading day left. It's not yet the end of the world on Monday. Okay? Alright. Next, CHP. CHP, this stock closed today at 2.6. It continues to move higher than its 10-day simple moving average. The support is at 2.30. It's a midterm support, by the way, 2.33. Major support is at 1.8. Resistance is at 2.88. Take note, it's closer to the resistance than to its support level now. So I have to mention that for those who need to calculate their reward to risk ratio. Sir, why do we need to calculate the reward to risk ratio? Okay, go back to the quick start guide, press Control F, and then type in reward to risk ratio. And then you will find out why and who needs to calculate their reward to risk ratio. Okay, I don't have to spoon feed everything in this video. Otherwise, I will sound like a parrot every single day, 365 days a year. Okay, now, MACD is poised to cross above the signal line. It's still below the signal line, but I am seeing a formation of a bullish convergence between MACD and the signal line. RSI is still quite distant from the classical overbought level. Another good thing here is that the positive DMI already crossed above the negative DMI. However, the upward momentum is not yet very strong. Now let's take a look at CHP's trade and volume distribution chart. It closed today, by the way, at 2.60, and that's closer to the intraday high than the intraday. It's close to the intraday high. But the dominant range here is between, let's see, where's the dominant range? It's between 2.55 to 2.63. So altogether, that's closer to the intraday high than the intraday low. So that's in favor of the buyers. So if you have had CHP, if you have had CHP, let's say you preempted the 10 SMA and MACD combo, okay, let's say you preempted that signal, and because you saw the presence of the 4-point criteria that I always mention in the videos, then you still have a data-driven reason either to hold or to top up. Okay? Now, if you don't have a position and you'd like to enter a new position on this stock on Friday, yes, you have a data-driven reason to do so also, but don't buy at any price. Position first within that dominant range that I've shown you. Okay? Then maybe after 30 minutes of trading, go to our private clients forum and then post a request for an updated trade and volume distribution chart. Perhaps while trading happens, or most likely during recess, I will send you the latest trade and volume distribution chart for CHP or any stock that you'd like or that you have requested. Okay, next, I am bullish on CHP, by the way. Next, TBGI. This stock closed today at 0.405. Support is at 0.308. Resistance is at 0.495. It's already moving above its 10-day simple moving average, and MACD is also has been moving above the signal line. RSI, mind you, it's approaching the classical overbought level. The upward momentum, meanwhile, is very strong. So meaning to say it gives more room, it gives more strength or more, no, I'm not going to use the word hope. It gives more, uh, it makes it more probable for the price to inch closer to its resistance area. Let's put it that way. Let me show you TBGI's trade and volume distribution chart. The dominant range is between 0.05, 0.405, and 0.42. It's in favor of the buyers. You have a data-driven reason to top up and to enter a new position. Not at any price, but within that dominant range that you've just seen. I am bullish on TBGI. Okay. Next, we have GSMI. I think I've talked about this stock a number of times already this month. So it closed today at 50.5. Support is at 44.5. Resistance, the psychological resistance, is positioned or aligned to the 61.8% extension of the up Fibonacci, and that's at 54.10. 54.10. Okay, MACD is also moving above the signal line. Foreign investors registered an 11 million pesos worth of net foreign buying today, and they have been in a net foreign buying mode for, let's see, how many trading days? They have been in a net foreign buying mode for, let me include this, let's see, for a while already, I think, and it's up until here you go. I got it. Here, January 9. Oh no, not January. Yeah, since January 9, they have been in a net foreign buying mode. Okay, so they are net buyers for 2019 year to date. Okay, did I already mention that the upward momentum is very strong? Yes, it is. Let me show you GSMI's trade and volume distribution chart. Then, so this is it. The dominant range is between 49.5 to 50 pesos per share. Is it closer to the intraday high than the intraday low? I think it's closer to the intraday low than the intraday high. Okay? Is it? But let's take a look at this one. What was the closing price last Tuesday? 48.5. What's the opening price? 48.7. What's the intraday low? 48.7. So, because the intraday low today is higher, once again, higher than the previous trading day's closing price, I would say that this trade and volume distribution chart is still in favor of the, guess what? Buyers. Okay? So that's how you look at it. Okay? So when the intraday low for the current trading day is higher than the previous trading day's closing price, meaning to say wherever you see the dominant range on the chart, it will still be in favor of the buyers then. Okay? So you've seen the dominant range. I am bullish on GSMI. You can top up and you can enter a new position. For those who are yet to enter a new position, mind you, you have to calculate your reward to risk ratio first. Do not skip that part. Okay? Do not skip that. Next, ALLHC, the former Poppy. This stock closed today at 3.62. Support remains at 2.83. Resistance is at, let me just drag it to the bottom. Okay, let's do it once again. Okay, resistance is at 3.86. It's still moving above the 10 SMA, and these three simple moving averages are aligned in a perfect bullish position. However, MACD is already playing below the signal line. On the other hand, the upward momentum remains strong. It remains strong. I think this MACD dove below the signal line because of the technical correction that happened last week. And now, ALLHC is recovering, or has already recovered above the 10-day simple moving average. Okay? Foreign investors are not that participative on this stock's trade. Let me show you the trade and volume distribution chart. The dominant range is between 3.5 to 3.52. 3.5 to 3.52. What was the closing price? 3.62. You might as well want to try to position near this spot. Okay? Well, that is if you would like to top up, and of course, if you would like to enter a new position. Now, you have to do an upward adjustment on the price or the range where you need to park your buying price if ALLHC does not start, or if it starts higher than 3.6 or higher than 3.62 on Friday. But if it starts tomorrow at a price lower than 3.62, it's all the more that you should be patiently waiting between 3.5 to 3.52. Okay, more or less within that range. You can say you can say 3.49 to 3.53. Okay, plus minus. Okay. All right, so that's the game plan for ALLHC. For those who have had this stock, even though I said that you have a data-driven reason to top up, please don't forget your trailing stop loss. Okay? Next, Lopez. All Lopez stocks are down. Why? It's all over the news. There are rumors that they are at risk of not having their uh, license renewed, right? So and that did not resonate well, obviously, to the investors. So they sold down. Okay, they sold down. LPZ closed today at 4.14. It broke below the previous support at 4.34, which is now acting as its current resistance. The new support is at 3.5. It's now moving below its 10 SMA and the 200-day SMA. So on the daily chart, LPZ is bearish both in the short term and long term. Because of this steep descent in price, although the downward momentum is not yet very strong, it's getting there. So if this bearishness will continue on Friday, perhaps until next week, we might see the downward momentum entering the very strong category. On the other hand, RSI is approaching the classical oversold level. So let's see. There is still a possibility for LPZ to go back to its previous support at 4.34 on Friday. Let's see. But if the investors, if there's no positive catalyst that will be heard on the news about LPZ or ABS-CBN or any company related to the Lopez's, this descent in price might just continue. Okay? What does that mean? If you don't have LPZ, then don't have it yet. Okay? Don't have it yet. What's the price action? Price and volume. That's all you need. Okay? As long as the 4-point criteria are absent, this stock should be absent in your portfolio as well. Okay? It doesn't make sense if everything's bearish and then you're going to buy a bearish stock. Wait for these people to, to reverse their sentiment from being bearish to bullish. Okay, so I went ahead with my recommendation. Now let me show you LPZ's trade and volume distribution. The dominant range is, wow, it's at the intraday low, 4.14 to 4.4, but most of it, nearly 33% of it is at the closing price or intraday low, 4.14. Very, very bearish today. So don't buy LPZ yet. And if your trailing stop loss got hit, so be it. Sell. Okay? Don't tell me you're going to pray and then you're going hope some more, pray some more. No. Continue praying, continue hoping, but don't use those two. Only those two as your trading arsenal. Okay? Next, pizza. This stock closed today at 13.48. Support is at 11.73. Support is at 11.73. Resistance is at 14.3. RSI almost hit its classical overbought level, but I think Pizza's traders translated 13.9 or maybe, no, not 13.9, but 14.30 as a selling spot. Okay, I think they did. Last Tuesday, foreign investors sold or registered, to be precise, they registered a net foreign selling worth 89 million. I think I discussed Pizza in my previous video last Tuesday. I think so. Yep. So I also mentioned there that you should consider monitoring Pizza for now, not entering a new position on it. Okay. The dominant range is between 13.4 to 13.5 in favor of the sellers. It's all the more that you should not hurry in buying the stock. Did your trailing stop loss get hit? Then you sell. If you can sell at once, at least you sell in tranches. Okay, discipline yourself. Okay? If you are very good in buying, you should also equally be very good when it comes to selling. Okay? Don't just be a master when it comes to buying. Be a master of selling as well. Be very disciplined in doing both. Be process oriented. Okay? Follow the system, the strategies that I have been teaching you since 2014. Okay. Do I still need to say that I am bearish on pizza? Just like with LPZ. Okay. Next, Surepass or X. It closed today at 1.02. Support is at 0.9. Resistance is at 1.35. How boring is this stock? Okay. It's been trading sideways since the last week of March, trading the range between 0.9 and 1.35. Okay. But still, is it moving above the 10 SMA? No, it's at the brink of, it's already below the 10 SMA. Although MACD is still above the signal line. So, is it logical to enter a new position? Is it logical to do a test buy? Okay, let's use the word test buy. Is it logical to do a test buy on Surepass? Well, let's take a look at the trade and volume distribution chart first. Surepass. The dominant range is between 1.02 and 1.06. It's closer to the intraday low than the intraday high. It's the game of the sellers today. Should you enter a new position? No. Okay, don't enter a new position. What if you're already in surpass? Let's say you entered a new position when the 10 SMA and MACD combo was satisfied when last May 20. Well, hold your position if your trailing stop loss is not yet hit, but do not top up yet. Okay, just in case the price continues to decline, at least you're going to sell at a lesser loss. Okay, at a lesser loss than when you top up. Because if you're going to top up and the price continues to decline, that means you're going to sell more shares at a bigger loss because you just added more shares that will be affected from the decline in price. Okay, all right. So I am bearish on Surpass. Actually, I'm not interested to trade the name. Okay, maybe once it touches zero point 0.9, then I will be very interested to see if the traders are starting to think or react because they think that Surpass is already too cheap to be ignored, but not now. Next, NIKL. This stock closed today at 2.09, support is at 1.94, resistance is at 2.35. It's already moving below its 10 SMA and its 3 simple moving averages are aligned in a perfect bearish position on the daily chart. Foreign investors registered a net foreign selling worth 8 million pesos today. For 2019 year to date, foreign investors are bearish on nickel. The MACD is also has already registered bearish convergence with the signal line, although it's still moving above the signal line. But it will cross below the signal line if this bearishness will continue, of course. Now the downward momentum is already in a very strong category for nickel. That's quite understandable since it has been in a bearish channel since, let's see, since when? When do you think? Since 2014. Since 2014, it has been moving in a bearish channel since that year. Wow. What do you expect? Of course, it will stay in a bearish trajectory if that's the case. Let me show you for what it's worth. The trade and volume distribution chart. More than 50% of today's volume was registered at the intraday low, which is at 2.09. Okay, but the dominant range is between 2.09 to 2.2, still in favor of the sellers. So don't buy nickel just yet. Okay, don't buy nickel just yet. There are no buy signals for this stock. Do I still need to emphasize that I am bearish on nickel? Okay, last but not the least, we have Now Corporation. So now closed today at 2.39. Support is at 1.98. Resistance is at 4.25. It's already moving below the 10 SMA. It's also spotted below the 200-day SMA. Now is both bearish in the short term and long term scales on the daily chart. All indicators are pointing to the southward direction. So it's getting more, it's going back to its previous super bearish mode. Now Corporation. Okay. So I'm not, even though I'm yet to show you the trade in volume distribution chart as early as now, I'm telling you not to trade Now Corporation. Not yet. Not yet. Okay. Now, this is the trade and volume distribution chart. The dominant range is between, oh, by the way, the closing price is close to the intraday low. The dominant range is between 2.39 to 2.5 in favor of the sellers. Stay away from Now Corporation for now. Stay away from now for now. Okay. All right. So I'm bearish on Now Corporation. Okay, so you've heard my technical analysis and overall sentiment for these 10 stocks for today in preparation for the next trading day. My name is JC De Guzman. If you have follow-up questions, please ask in our private clients forum. Please don't email your questions. Subscribers must ask in a private clients forum, and that's the very reason why I created the forum. All right, don't be shy. People here don't know who you are because they can only see your username only. All right, thank you.